Oh, welcome to our Rainbow Yoga class. This week we are going to be focusing on our second chakra in our 7-week chakra journey. Last week we worked through the grounding chakra, the Muladhara chakra, the earth element chakra, and today we're moving into our second chakra, our Svadhisthana, which is our sacral chakra. So the second chakra is represented by the color orange, and it is represented by the earth element of water. So it's a very fluid chakra, and it's one centered around creativity. So if you think of moments where you're really in this really amazing flow of energy and feeling really connected and kind of in the zone. I know I've been there many times with work and with other things that I've done that really inspires my creativity. Your sacral chakra is really inspired and really open. Now, the sacral chakra is located below the navel and right at that reproductive area. So it's also really integral to sexuality, to reproduction. And our right to feel. So it's really connected to our emotional state as well, and our right to feel our emotions. So, and to be able to express our emotions. So today I want our practice to be really an exploration for yourself, to really hone in on your intuitive creative space. So allowing yourself to flow with this ease, with this fluidity, like you would be in the water, kind of being buoyant and kind of going along with the waves. So today we're going to begin in a seated position. If it doesn't feel good for you to be in a seated position, feel free to go ahead and lie down. Again, got myself propped it on a bolster. It feels really nice and comfortable here. I'm going to turn the music down just a little because for me, I can hear it a little too loud. Um, and we're going to go ahead and just make our way into Sukhasana. So perhaps with your knees crisscrossed, you can always go into yogi's pose with your legs lifted, whatever feels comfortable. Just find a little bit of length through the spine. We're going to go ahead and take our one hand to the low part of our belly and take the other hand to the back part of our low back. And then just kind of bringing that space where you've got the back arm pressing up against the low back, the front hand pressing right below the low belly, the belly button. Maybe close your eyes and just take a few breaths in, filling that space, and exhale, pulling it back in, just tuning into our sacral chakra. Perhaps you envision the color orange here. Start to relax the body. Try to release any desire to control what's happening here. Knowing that sometimes when we're in this creative flow, it's like it's this uncontrollable pace. Just the thoughts, the energy, the creativity just starts to flow like a river into a lake. So just let whatever it is within you be loose and free. Free of judgment, free of expectation. And just this opportunity to be here and express yourself. Acknowledging that right to feel, that right to be. And when you're ready, go ahead and release your hands. Let them rest on your knees or your thighs. Just continue from that space. And every chakra has a seed word. Last week was Lam, Lam. This week, the seed word, the bij word, the bij is seed, is VAM, V-A-M. And I'd like you to repeat this either in Japa style, where I repeat the seed word and you repeat after me, or a Japa, where you repeat it silently to yourself. And you can choose to do whatever is good for you. But I want you to imagine that as you're saying the VAM, VAM, that it's coming from that space, from that sacral chakra, from right below the belly. So let's go ahead and take a nice big breath to the belly, fill it up. And then as you exhale, VAM, just repeat that self to yourself, VAM out loud or internally. Breathe in. VAM. 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 2 more times. VAM. VAM. And just take a couple of nice big breaths to the belly. And sigh it out from that sacral space. So to notice the area from below the belly button emanating this orange bright light, inviting creativity, sensuality. This opportunity to explore and be fluid, not be locked in to one particular path, but know that your path can be a string of different roads. To invite that curiosity and creativity to expand your journey. Thinking not in linear terms, but thinking in fluid terms, that they kind of explore different areas. And each time you explore, you get a little bit more information, a little bit of more opportunity to expand your awareness. And then when you're ready, let's bring our hands to heart center. And let's set our intention. Maybe your intention is, I have the right to feel. Maybe it's, I am creative. I am fluid. I am curious. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and release the hands. And let's go ahead and start to open our eyes really gently. And with this new perspective, just take a moment to look around the room, being curious about all that's around us, all the energy that went into creating that room, the time, the love. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and lie down on our backs. And as you make your way to your back, let's maybe keep the knees bent. And with the knees bent and the heels drawn in towards the sits bones, relax the arms, relax the chest. Let the shoulders drift away from the ears. Keep the gaze either soft or closed. Just kind of explore what feels good for you. And as we explored our Muladhara Heart Chakra last week, I'd like you to just begin by grounding your body. Start from that foundation of the earth. Sense your body grounding down and feeling that sense of support and foundation. Knowing that when we're in this watery flow of Svadhisthana, our sacral chakra, we always come into that flow from a foundation of stability, safety, and security. And once you've grounded into your feet, rooted into the back of your body, let's, with our breath, begin to move into some pelvic rocks. So with your inhale, tilt your pelvis so that your hip bones are lifting to the sky and you're creating an arch in the low back, maybe pressing down through the tailbone. And then with your exhale, tilt the pelvis down, pressing the low back into the floor, tilting the hip bones down towards the earth. Inhale, tilt the pelvis up, creating some movement and opening of the back of the body. Exhale, tilt the pelvis down. And as you continue to flow here with your breath, just notice the fluidity here, just within this area. This area that creates life. Sometimes this area gets blocked. I said earlier, this chakra is really actually pretty poignant for me right now. As someone who's always kind of tuned into that creative side of herself, I've actually kind of let that part of my life kind of sip away. Not consciously, but we get tied into our daily lives and we stop taking the time to do the things that require no necessary outcome. Just coloring in a coloring book for fun. Dancing without any purpose. Expressing yourself in ways that are not only verbal but also nonverbal, maybe through an art format, through painting, through drawing, through writing, creating. And sometimes we get caught up in the daily lives. We take that part and we set it to the side, but that part is so important and integral to our well-being, to our joy. And the next time you find your pelvis tilting up with that arch in the low back, tilt your pelvis over to the right as if your right hip bone's pressing down. Tilt your pelvis down as if your belly button's pressing the low back into the floor. And then tilt yourself to the left and then down towards the tailbone. Like you're creating a circle just within the pelvis, hitting those 4 points. The tailbone, the right hip, the belly button, the left hip. And just moving really gently into this area of the body. And as a woman, this area of our body is incredibly significant. Like I said earlier, it's where we create life. tuning in. Notice how it feels. See if there's any sticking points. Just notice it, being fluid with it, and trying to allow yourself to find this movement with simply the idea of moving without expectation. There's no outcome, just being curious. Maybe you find yourself tilting towards the floor with the hip bones up. Go ahead and reverse your direction. And just like the water in the ocean, changing directions constantly. Notice how this feels. Hitting all those 4 points. Letting go of any tension that might be held up here. And we know that so much trauma can be held in this area. As we have our hip flexors that run through this space. So allow yourself to express any emotion, as this chakra is that chakra of expression and that right to feel. You ever been in a situation where someone kind of told you how you had to feel? Or someone told you that how you were feeling wasn't right? And what did we do? We may have retreated back. And I said, okay, I'm wrong. You're right. But you knew in your heart space that what you were feeling was your truth. I'm very conscious of that with my kids. And I catch myself frequently trying to tell them how they should feel or what they should do and how they should express themselves. And that's really no one else's right. You have the right to feel the feelings you feel, the emotions you have, without any need to justify. When you're ready, bring yourself back towards center. And let's draw our knees in towards our chest and give ourselves the most loving hug you can give yourself. Hinging from that sacral area, knees in towards your heart, tailbone long. Soften your shoulders, soften your jaw, soften your eyes. And then when you're ready, go ahead and set your feet down, hip distance apart, heels in towards the glutes. Set your hands down, anchor into the feet and to the back of the head. And here we're going to hinge from our hips, from our sacral. We're going to open up that space. So pressing into the floor as we open up into our bridge. And again, maybe you modify your movement here. Maybe you set a block underneath your sacrum. Maybe you want to stay open, just centering your attention below the belly button, expanding and opening the front of the body here. Just allow yourself to explore, lifting up and releasing. And as you're doing this, you're maybe connecting into our Muladhara, our earth chakra. Now, as you have this foundation of stability, safety, security, you can explore into our higher, or not higher, our different chakra, our sacral chakra. Because one chakra is not more important than the other. The top chakra is not more important than the lower chakras. They are all interwoven, like a beautifully quilted blanket. You can't have one square without the other. So if our foundation is shaky, we cannot seek our seventh chakra. our bliss chakra. Wonderful. When you're ready, we'll come back in towards center at your own pace. Set your sacrum down to the floor and then go ahead and draw your feet in towards center, sliding the soles of the feet together as we come into butterfly. And if butterfly elicits too much feeling, if it feels like it's just too much to be here from a physical standpoint, from an emotional standpoint, draw your knees towards center. Come into constructive rest pose. Maybe you take a moment to rest one hand on your heart, one hand on your tummy. Tuning into that sacral chakra and to your heart space. Noticing the rise and fall, the release of the hips. Let yourself feel heavy here and let yourself ground down. Honoring your truth by allowing your emotions to be freely open to express themselves. And then at your own pace, if you are in Recline Butterfly, go ahead and take your arms out long and just set them underneath the thighs. And slowly, carefully, bring your knees in towards center. Open your feet wide. And then go ahead and windshield wiper your knees in and out. Open your heart, your arms out wide. And just like waves in the ocean, allow your knees to drip in and out. Heart space expansive. Palms open to give and receive whatever it is you need this morning. Be curious and be creative with this. Maybe there's a little movement of the head side to side. Again, moving outside of the box that we sometimes create for ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. We all do it. We all kind of find ourselves living within the confines of our own kind of preset limitations that we think we have. But this chakra is that chakra that allows you to seek beyond that point. Allows you to know that there's a whole wide world out there. Open and ready for your creativity. You ever thought to yourself, I have an idea, but oh my gosh, there's no room for me in this marketplace with that idea. Everybody else is doing it. There's always room. There's always room for your creativity, for your version, for your vision of it. The next time you come through center, draw the feet together, draw the knees together. Slide the hands to the side. And then we'll draw the knees towards the right or left side and roll onto your side and make your way into your all fours position. Now we're going to come into a movement we do almost every week, cat-cow. But today I want you to add that creative flair. And I want you to explore your own cat-cow. Maybe invite a little movement through the body, maybe a little sway of the hips. And go ahead and just find your cow. And then exhale, find your cat, and just explore. Maybe there's just a movement of the shoulders, of the neck, as you kind of flow from one to the other. And feel free to close your eyes here. Just to tune in within yourself, to explore the movement of the body. Allow your spine to move in whatever direction is calling to you. Sometimes we don't feel comfortable expressing our creativity, especially outward, and that's okay. But know that it's also okay to express your creativity, to express yourself physically, verbally, emotionally. And then when you're ready, the next time you make your way back in towards your tabletop position, press back into child's pose. Let your hips drift down towards your heels. Soften your wrists. Let your forehead connect to the earth. Allow your hips to drift down and soften into that space. Maybe you can feel your belly button kind of right between the thighs. Soften that breath. Breathing into the back of the body and noticing that back of the body down at the base where the back of where that sacral chakra is. See if you can fill that space with your breath. Releasing any tension from that area as you release your hips down towards the heels. And then on your next inhale, take your arms out long, press back, tabletop. And from here, let's go ahead and draw our knees in towards center, maybe even closer towards center, hands underneath the shoulders, and let's move through some hip circles here. Really exploring maybe the shoulders, the side of the ribs, creating this infinity sign that there are infinite amount of opportunities. You think of anything that's been created and how many times those creators had to explore different options because the first one didn't quite work out the way it was intended. And suddenly it took them on a different path and they took it to different heights. They let their mind be infinite of thoughts, of creative action. You are no different than those people. Maybe the next time you come back through center, you explore a different path, moving in the opposite way. Let the shoulders drift, let your breath be fluid in whatever pattern feels good for you. One last time. Let's make our way slowly back towards center. On your next exhale, draw the belly button in, pull the tailbone down, let the head drift towards the earth, let the ground kind of come into your vision. Hold this space in cat and just gently shift yourself forward and back. Pulling into the back of the body like you've got strings pulling your spine up towards the ground, moving and hinging from your sacral chakra. And one more time. And then when you're ready, make your way back towards tabletop. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them gently. Sweep your hands a little bit forward of the shoulders and let's come into downward dog. And if downward dog doesn't feel good for you today, go ahead and make your way into your forward fold. And I'm going to actually use a block today. So if you want to use one, please go ahead and grab your blocks. From downward dog here, I want you to think of exactly where your sacral chakra is here, pulling through that body. Lengthen through your spine, drop your heels down, ground into the earth here. And maybe you explore a little bit of movement through the hips as you pedal the feet here. Still feeling that grounding of the hands and the feet. So that Muladhara, that earth element. But from that earth element, you have this water element, this fluidity, this movement through the hips. This gorgeous opportunity to just be fluid from one side to the other. Exploring, maybe even moving a little bit through the shoulders if that feels good for you. Remember, there's always options. You can even rest just in downward dog or whatever feels right. And then whenever you're ready, we'll slowly begin to bring our body into our forward fold, or Uttanasana, and slowly walking our hands towards our feet. And I'm going to take my yoga block today at my highest height, feet a little wider than hip distance apart. And just like the vastness of the ocean, I'm going to allow my body some space here, hinging from the hips, really pulling into that sacral chakra. Allowing the knees to bend. And maybe we just gently rock our body side to side, just slowly moving from one to the other. This always reminds me of when I hear a song and I get so into the song that there's just this power within me that just moves my body. And I've been known to do a little jig in the kitchen once in a while when everyone's away. The music blaring. I'm sure my neighbors don't love that, but it's a sense of freedom that this elicits. The sense of being able to freely express yourself physically. Maybe it's a dance, maybe it's something else. For me, it's very often just a song that just brings up this movement of emotion within me. And whenever you're ready, bring yourself back towards center. And deeply bend into the knees, release the block, and slowly press the feet into the floor, grounding into the earth, and just allow yourself to make your way into your standing position. And from that space, you can feel that sense of stability, that earth element beneath you. Let yourself come to standing. Let your arms drift to the side of your body. And maybe you just allow yourself to move the arms. Allow the knees to kind of drift inward, allowing this gentle movement from side to side. Let the arms feel heavy. Let yourself just explore here. Wonderful. And then whenever you're ready, just come back in through center. Reestablish yourself here, grounding through the earth. Let your arms just soften to your sides. Maybe close your eyes for just a brief moment here. And then when you're ready, let's take some breaths. Breathing in, exploring the arms tall. Exhale, release to the side, and just let the arms just flow from one to the other. Keeping my eyes closed here just to kind of tune in. Feeling the softness of the arms. Feel free to bend the knees even and just expand your body. And maybe your expression of this is different. Maybe you want to just kind of rock yourself side to side and kind of just move in this really non-linear expression. And then whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and meet at your own pace with your hands at your heart center. Wonderful. Let's just take a moment to reground our body. Now when you're ready, release the hands to the side. And we're going to go ahead and meet at the top of our mat. And if you have some yoga blocks, let's just take them. Let's just take them with us. Maybe set them on either side. If you don't have yoga blocks, don't stress about it. It's no problem. And when you're ready, standing at the top of our mat, shoulders are pulled back, chest is open, palms are extended and energized. Let's go ahead and take our right arm up towards the sky, and then exhale, let the left just drift. And then just go ahead and flow here, right to left. And just invite this different quality today. Pulling up through the belly button, tuning into that area of our body, finding this fluidity of movement. Maybe we'll do one more on either side. And then whenever you're ready, release both hands down to the side. And let's go ahead and sweep our right arm up, left arm back, and switch sides. One to the other. Lengthening through the spine, grounding into the feet. Kind of just feeling that lift. Feel free to even bend the knees as you reach, alternating sides. Like you're swimming in the ocean here. Exploring and moving forward, but also being kind of shifting right to left, left to right. Beautiful. One more time. Reach with your left, your right with your left. And then when you're ready, let both hands drift to the side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Extend the body long. Lengthen the arms out to the side. Pull the belly button in. Reach forward, fold. Let the hands rest onto the blocks. Inhale, come into your half arch. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, release down. And let's just flow here a few more times, just allowing that movement of the spine. As you lower and lift, maybe you open your legs wider to create a little more space for yourself. Maybe you bend the knees. Allow yourself just to articulate and release physically through the spine. Allow yourself to envision just this release and letting go. Last one. We'll meet in our half arch. Take your feet, if they're wide, a little closer towards center. Take your blocks a little wider if they're a little close. Take that right foot back. Opening up, drawing the blocks in towards center. If you have the blocks, if you don't, sit up nice and tall. Draw the heel down towards the earth. Press into that front leg. And if you do have a block, set your right hand down. If not, take your right hand down to the floor. And let's just sweep our left arm up into a gentle twist. Moving in different directions, but anchoring into the earth here. Knowing that if this does not feel good with your right leg lifted, feel free to drop that right knee down to the ground into a kneeling lunge. Set your left hand down and draw that block, if you do have them, to the highest point and take that right foot a little closer towards center. Extend the left leg. Let the body drift down towards the knee and then gently pull yourself up, just kind of moving here, releasing down, releasing up. Lengthening through the spine, again, pulling through the belly, and just moving with this idea of ease, not force. If you look at the ocean, they interweave within one wave and the other. They crash towards one another, but they intersect. There's no force there. They just mold together. On the next exhale, lift up, bend the front knee, take the right foot forward. Take the block forward of the toes. Inhale, lengthen into your half arch. Exhale, release down. Inhale, bend the knees, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Pull the belly in around the shoulders. Lift the gaze forward. Relax the shoulders. Take a moment of pause here. Open the palms. Re-ground yourself into the floor. On your next inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Exhale, release the arms out to the side, sweep down towards the floor, rest the hands onto the block. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Stay down in your forward fold. Take your blocks to the side. This time, take your left foot back. Find your low lunge. Maybe setting that left knee down to the floor. Lengthen through the spine, root through the feet. Set the left hand onto the block. Inhale, open up to the right. Again, you can always set that knee down, and this doesn't have to be a huge, tight movement. Think less about creating tension and more about creating fluidity. So maybe you're just letting that hand rest on the hip and opening the heart. Take a breath here. Exhale, release down. Set your hands on the block. Maybe you're going to toe heel that back foot just a little bit more forward and lengthen the front leg. You can always have a micro bend in the knee. Lengthen long into the spine. Exhale, release down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. As you're doing this, try to really embrace this idea of zero expectation. Zero expectation, how this should look, how it should feel. Let go of that word should and just be present with it. One more time. And then go ahead and make your way along back. Bend in that front knee. Set that left foot forward. Take your block forward, the toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release down. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Press into the feet. Ground into the earth. Roll up vertebrae by vertebrae with your gaze being the last to lift. Open your palm. As you're ready, let's take one more big inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms out to the side, come into a forward bend. Inhale one more time, half arch. Exhale down towards the earth. Take your block, set it off to the side. Take your right foot back, your left foot back. Meet yourself in downward dog. And from here, let's just roll through the vertebrae. Bring ourselves into our plank position, either staying here or coming to the knees and drifting our body down towards the earth. Pressing our sacral chakra down into the earth as we roll the shoulder blades back and lift our heart. And as we make our way here into our cobra, allow for a lifting of the shoulders, of the sternum, and then let yourself float down. And we're going to repeat that a few more times. So breathe in, open up, exhale, drift down. Just kind of peel yourself up within your own space, within your own movement. And then as you're ready, next time we'll curl our toes under, press ourselves back into downward dog. And then go ahead and set your knees down, wide, big toes together, press back, child's pose. Take about 4 breaths here. And as you're coming back to this one more time, notice where's your belly button resting? You soften through that area. Wonderful. And then let's slowly make our way onto our backs. Go ahead. Let's go ahead and rest down onto our back. I'm going to go into our happy baby. So depending on how it feels for you, maybe you want to do a half happy baby. So maybe just with one leg up to the sky, toes flexing towards the ceiling, knees pulling in towards the underarm area. Maybe just rest your peace fingers on your big toe. So just take a moment here just to kind of feel, is this right for me today? And keep that left knee bent, foot down to the ground if you want. Maybe you can release that right foot and go ahead and explore on the other side. And hinging from our sacral chakra, from this area here, really grounding in here. Let's take a couple of breaths here, letting our sacrum come down to the earth. And take a moment here just to visualize that color orange. Depending on how it feels for you, maybe you come into happy baby with both legs up, and that's really whatever expression you want. Maybe you feel like rocking side to side. And then whenever you're ready, go ahead and set your feet down. Let your knees knock together for just a moment here. And bring your hands back to the low part of your belly. Maybe one hand to your heart. Tuning in here, just seeing how you feel. And you can remain in constructive rest pose. You can extend the legs. You can even take a yoga block or your bolster and set it underneath your sacrum and maybe find a supportive bridge if you want to rest here in that pose, whatever feels right for you. And as we come towards the end of our practice today, I'm going to close our practice off with an ocean's meditation. So I'm just going to let everyone take a moment or two to get themselves really comfortable. I'm just going to go ahead and sit myself up on my bolster. And however you want to rest today, if it feels comfortable for you, you can take your hands to that low part of your belly, just as a physical reminder of that space. Just bring your attention to your breath and to your body. I'd like you to imagine you're sitting in a small boat, a canoe perhaps. With each inhale that arises, feel the sensation that you are floating on top of the water. With each exhale, you are drifting further and further from the shore. Feel the vastness of the ocean below you and the possibility of the sky above you. Now, imagine that a wave rolls underneath you and rocks your boat, and then another, and then another. Feel them come and go, come and go, holding within them life's ever-changing nature. Think of the many waves of your life. Some have lulled you with their gentleness, their consistency and comfort, while others have been giant, dragged down tsunamis that you nearly drowned in. all have integrated into the great big ocean that makes up the tapestry of you. You are each wave, but you are also the entire ocean. Honor all that has brought you here. Ask yourself, do I give myself permission to feel the fullness of all of my feelings in any given moment? Think of what you have stuffed inside or shoved away. What part of your emotional landscape is waiting to be acknowledged? On the other hand, ask yourself, what parts of the past am I clinging to? What am I ready to let go of? May you feel each of your feelings fully and then surrender them into the flow. Place your hands on your lower belly. Feel your body's expression of total openness and receptivity. Ask yourself, do I allow for pleasure in my life? And feel the space to listen to the answer. Now bring yourself back into that canoe. And the waves have started to soften. And the rocking of side to side is present, but not with the same force it was when you first got into your canoe. Allow the stillness of the canoe be a representation of the stillness from within. Take a moment to breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in and breathe out. Start to invite some movement through the hands and through the feet. And then when you're ready, Perhaps roll onto your favorite side. And just take a moment of pause there. At your own pace, take your top arm, press it into the earth, feeling its stability, its foundation, allowing you, giving you the opportunity to wave yourself back up into a seated position. Let's meet with our hands at heart center. Maybe be reminded of our intention, one that we can use on and off the mat. Let's close our practice with a deep breath into the belly, back to that orange bright light, and then a release out of the mouth. Breathe in. And breathe out. May your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad, and may the light that shines in me honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today for this second chakra. Lots of hearts. Oh, I hope that this ignited that light that sometimes gets dimmed or put out. So if you have any questions about this chakra, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be glad to share some information more with you. From my heart to yours, I'm so honored. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again next week for our solar plexus chakra, for our third chakra. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.